Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies we haven't seen yet. My name is Trent, and I'm here with my wife, Betsy.
I'm Betsy.
Hey, Betsy. Happy 420.
Ish.
Yeah.
We're recording this in advance, but that's when this is coming out.
Yep. So if you haven't figured out already, we're going to be covering a weed movie.
A stoner film?
A stoner film. We have had plans to do like a whole series of like stoner / loser comedy type things.
Oh, we'll get to it.
We're going to just extract one of these movies from that series and just put it out now because, hey, fate has just blessed us with a couple of movies, or a couple of holidays, let's say, this year so far. The first one being Groundhog Day. We watched Groundhog Day, and that came out on the day. And this one, we're going to watch Half Baked.
Yes.
A movie I have seen many, many, many times. But Betsy, you haven't.
I have never watched this movie.
Yeah. So, full disclosure. I want to get this out right away. Neither Betsy nor I have ever imbibed such substances. And I'm not just saying that for, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, legally.
We're genuinely boring
We're
human beings.
literally like one of the more straight-laced couples you'll ever meet.
Yeah, got nothing against it.
We have complete support of people who do such things. We have no problem with it. We both believe that it should be legalized across the board, and everybody who's locked up should be freed and like records cleaned and all that other shit.
Right, we just are boring people who just it never tickled our fancy.
Nope. Nope. So, Betsy, why haven't you watched Half Baked?
For the aforementioned reasons, number one.
All right.
And number two, I don't know, this is just one of those 90s comedies that I have always been aware existed. And at the time it came out, the two stars were not A-list actors. One of them, they still really aren't, per se.
One of them is a lot more popular than what he once was.
Correct. And the other one is Jim Brewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was just one of those that I know plenty of people who have seen it, and I have just never felt the need. Like, I think it just looks stupid to me.
It's very stupid.
And sometimes stupid is really funny and I enjoy it, and sometimes stupid is just stupid.
So is it that you don't think that you would get the jokes or like couldn't appreciate it as much as a non-stoner?
I think I just would think it was stupid.
All right, fair enough.
So yeah, there's really not much more to it than that.
Okay.
And it came out in what, 1995, 96?
No, this came out in 98.
This came out in 1998?
Yes.
All right then. Yeah, and I mean, I was 13, so not exactly the kind of movie I would just pop on for a fun afternoon. So yeah, really just something that I didn't see at the time. Mm-hmm. I didn't watch it in high school. I didn't have friends who wanted to watch this movie.
Okay.
My siblings never wanted me to watch this with them.
Yeah.
So I just never watched it.
All right, fair enough. But since this movie has kind of a following, do you know anything about it or from it? Because this movie has had like the meme treatment done to it well before memes were a thing.
I know very little about this movie. I know Jim Brewer is in it because, again, I watched SNL in the 90s, so I was very aware of who he was. So for him to be in a feature film at that time in my life was, he's making it in the movies now. Yeah. And then, of course, the other lead is Dave Chappelle. Mm-hmm. And at the time, the only thing I knew Dave Chappelle from was Robin Hood Men in Tights. Maybe Con Air. I can't remember when that came out. If one
it's
came
around
out.
the same time.
It's around the same time.
Yeah.
I want to say Norm Macdonald is maybe in this.
Okay.
Or somebody like that. But I'm not 100%.
I'm just going to say this. There are a lot of cameos in this movie.
I'm sure. This kind of strikes me as we're just going to put our friends in it because why the hell not?
Yeah.
So then I would say probably some other comedians and or people who were on Saturday Night Live in the 90s.
All right.
Those would be my immediate guesses.
Okay.
No specifics because I have no idea.
All right.
And then as far as like plot, they're guys who get high and they have problems.
Wow, Betsy, you got it.
I think you told me some of it. Like, I don't know it from knowing what this movie is. Like,
Sure.
I have not paid attention or looked into it to know the plot. I only know it because you have told me in passing.
Yeah.
And I believe
I've probably shown you like clips or told you about little things.
No, you've never
I don't
shown
know.
me clips, but I think you said their friend gets kidnapped. And these are two stoners who are trying to like figure out how to solve that problem, but they keep getting high.
Okay. All right.
I don't honestly know. I
Okay.
know remarkably little about this movie because I have paid it so little attention.
All right. So the background for me. So I was a big fan of stand-up comedy, and I still am. Now, back in 1998 into the early 2000s is when I really started to discover a lot of that stuff. Now, I was a fan of Jim Breuer. The vehicle for me to watch this movie in the first place was the fact that Jim Breuer was in it, because I was a fan of his stand-up comedy.
I've never seen his stand-up.
Back in the 90s, it was pretty good, at least for what it was at the time. These days, no, he's kind of shot himself in the foot so many times, he's just completely irrelevant. I don't give a shit. He sucks. And then that kind of, like, watching this movie got me into Dave Chappelle. And this was, like, during his first come up with his stand-up comedy, like, he was very, very hot in the late 90s.
Yeah.
All the way into when the Chappelle Show became a thing, and then everybody knows what happens with that. The other comedian who is a part of their group is Harlan Williams, which not a lot of people know.
I know who that is, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's who I'm thinking
He's a
of.
very, very deadpan kind of a comedian.
And he shows up in a lot of stuff around this era.
Yes, and he never got really famous. I've seen a few of his specials. They're okay. I'm not going to this movie to watch Harlan Williams.
No.
But again, there are a lot of different cameos that kind of introduced me to the fact that, all these famous people love weed.
Of course.
Yes. And,
Then and still.
right. And to be honest, again, me as a very straight-laced kid and adult, I learned a lot about weed and that whole culture from this movie. It's not necessarily the best representation of those people, but at the same time, I got rid of a lot of my ignorance.
Fair
around
enough.
it. And it made me more comfortable with the people that I ended up befriending. Like, all my friends, let's just say most of my friends, smoke weed in some capacity or another. I never have. I've been around them plenty of times while they're doing it. I've been offered. I just don't care. I don't care to change my mental state.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But, Betsy, I'm very excited for you to go and watch Half Baked. Let's go do it right now. And we're back. So what'd you think of Half Baked, Betsy?
Yeah, that's a stupid 90s stoner movie.
Yep.
Like, I get why people like it. It's just stupid enough that it's funny.
Yeah.
But it's also so stupid that it isn't funny.
It's highly juvenile
Yes.
in the best way. To my little teenage mind, the first time I saw it.
Right,
It's like the funniest movie ever.
I think if I had seen this much younger, I would probably have been on your side. Because I'm watching this as a 37-year-old. It's a lot harder to be like, hilarity ensues.
No.
I have no nostalgia for this movie, so
Right.
that just doesn't affect me.
Right. You kind of have to put yourself in that mindset.
Right, right. And I don't even know if this would be funny if you got high and watched it. Like, it's not even that kind of a movie.
It's not.
So, yeah, it's definitely like the lowest common denominator for some of the jokes. Mm-hmm. And then there's other stuff where it's like, what the hell kind of a movie do you want this to be? Like, there's weird Batman things, and the Superman theme is playing while we fly, and he breaks the fourth wall and like winks at the audience. But there's like not enough of any single thing to make it make sense. It's like, we're just gonna do this once and then never do it again.
It's like they have an idea.
Yeah.
And they do it. And that's it.
And that's it. Yeah. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's not a bad movie. It's not a good movie. So I think this is appropriately ranked. We were looking at the Rotten Tomatoes score before we began, and this is a 29% critic score.
And like an 81% audience score.
Right. So the people love this movie.
The people.
Yes, they love the movie. Critics are like, what the hell is this mess? And I fall somewhere in the middle, I think.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I laughed. There were funny parts.
It's still Dave Chappelle at his goofiest.
Right. It is bits of what we would come to see on Chappelle's show. Yeah. Like, this was written with Neil Brennan.
Yeah. His writing partner for decades.
His writing partner, yeah. Which is so weird because he's this skinny white boy writing with Dave Chappelle. You wouldn't think those two would have paired up.
Yeah.
And then this is what comes out.
All of this, like for like 20 years, those two guys, everything that Dave Chappelle did, he did with Neil.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah.
And he's in this movie. You had to point him out to me.
Yep.
Because I was like, who the hell's that skinny kid? He looks kind of familiar.
That's Neil.
He looks quite different now.
Yes.
Add 24 years. And glasses and a beard.
Yes. Yeah, if you didn't know who it was, he was the guy at the burger joint on the microphone.
Yes. The one barking
Heifer
orders.
with cheese. So, all right. Did you get any of like the memeable things in this movie?
Yes, so there's a couple of quotes I have absolutely heard from this, but didn't know it was from this.
Okay.
In particular, boo this man.
Boo this man! That's from this movie.
The thing about, have you ever done it on weed?
On weed? Jon Stewart. He will never live that down.
Right, and this is, of course, 1998, when Jon Stewart was still sort of having a movie career, or trying to.
He was trying to have a movie career. This is before he got The Daily Show.
Yeah.
He took over in 99.
Right.
So he needed to do these movies to get his name out there.
Right.
In order to land that gig.
I can name 3 movies that I have seen Jon Stewart in.
And they're all from this era.
Yeah. And then he got The Daily Show and
the rest
never
is history.
Looked back.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Some people aren't meant to be movie stars, and that's okay.
That's okay. Sometimes you just show up.
Jimmy Fallon, what?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, some people, they just do their friends a favor and they show up in your movie for very cheap.
You mean the entire circle of people around Adam Sandler?
Around Adam Sandler. Yep. Oh, boy.
That's okay. You know, that's the whole thing when your friends get famous. You get to cash in on some of that.
You do. And in the same scene as Boo This Man, we got Bob Saget showing up, R.I.P., Bob Saget showing up, saying his famous line from this movie, "I used to suck dick for Coke."
You know, maybe that's who I was thinking of. I knew there was somebody significant in this movie. Yeah, and yeah, he is like sweaty and drug, crazed.
Right.
And just like ridiculing him for having a problem with weed.
Right.
He does not know the half of it.
And of course, this is 1998. Was Full House still on the air in 1998?
Oh, that's a good question. It might have been.
It was very close. It
might have been its last season.
It was very close to that. Yeah. And of course, this is really, if Full House wasn't on the air, America's Funniest Home Videos was.
Probably.
Think about that.
I never knew in the 90s that Bob Saget was a dirty old man, though.
Neither did I until this movie.
I think there is a huge group of people our age who only knew him as the guy from Full House and the guy from America's Funniest Home Videos, which are not the things you associate.
Extremely squeaky clean family stuff on ABC.
Yep, and there's this movie, and then he's also in the Dumb and Dumber prequel.
Oh.
And he's screaming about shit.
Okay.
There's shit everywhere.
Okay.
So they do this a lot with Bob Saget.
Well, and he's also famously in the Aristocrats documentary, where he
is notoriously the dirtiest one in the movie.
Jesus Christ. So if you're listening to this podcast, especially about this movie, you probably have a somewhat of a twisted sense of humor in some capacities. If you don't mind that kind of humor, seek out the documentary called The Aristocrats.
Filthy,
especially if you
disgusting movie.
Especially if you love stand-up comedy, watch that documentary. It is one of the funniest things you will ever witness.
I saw that in college. Did I ever tell you this story?
I think you did. Like, didn't they do like at
the film festival?
At the film festival, yeah.
I had heard about it and I watched it.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
I watched it in college too.
But back to Half-Baked.
But yes, Bob Saget, famously dirty comedian. I didn't really know it until I saw this.
This was your first inkling, certainly.
Yes.
It's shocking in 1998. Now it's just, aw.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see you talking about sucking dick for coke. So, getting back to the movie a little bit. So, the plot, I knew there was something with their friend. I couldn't remember what it was. But yeah, their friend gets arrested. And the whole plot is they're trying to raise bail to get him out of jail.
They're fundraisers.
They're fundraisers, not drug dealers. So, very loose plot. And they set it up where Dave Chappelle works at a lab.
Thurgood.
They have weed because they do clinical studies here.
The FDA is asking them to do a study on the medical benefits of marijuana.
Which in the 90s actually is probably the time they would have been doing that.
It's very true, and it's kind of an ironic thing because in real life, there were studies like this commissioned, but the U.S. government in some capacity, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but they disallowed these kinds of studies to be performed because the conservatives out there decided if the results came out and they said, oh, it's not so bad, there's actually some benefits here, then their whole argument against weed will go away.
And of course, guess what happened?
Over the next 20 years, it started to become chipped away. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, and if that's the thing, they have a whole segment in this movie about, the different people who smoke weed.
Yes.
And they poo-poo on, the pothead, but that's all they are.
Oh,
These slackers who have...
They do it for no reason.
For no reason other than they like to smoke weed. They have a ritual. They go to their crap job. They smoke weed, they eat snacks, they do it again the next day.
Pretty much.
That is their entire existence.
Pretty much, and
they are no threat to anybody.
And that's very much like my friends who do this. Anybody who does, that's pretty much them. They don't
do it to relax.
They also don't do it habitually, all the time, like these guys do.
Well, and it's weird because in this movie, the only one who's really the quintessential stoner is Jim Brewer.
Oh, yeah.
The other guys just sort of exist, but also smoke weed.
Right. They have, real jobs that...
They don't act like stoners. Jim Brewer is going so far into this character...
Oh, yeah.
...that it's just a joke. I know it's a comedy. It's supposed to be a joke. Yeah. But... he didn't give it any depth or anything. The other guys have some other things going on. They have characteristics outside of pot. He does not.
He does tell a really good story, though.
He is a storyteller, yes, I will give you that. But only when he's on weed.
Yes.
So, yes, their friend they all get high. They send their friend out to get snacks, to get munchies.
Munchies. Kenny. And Harlan Williams' character.
And he feeds a horse to death.
And, of course, he comes out of the convenience store with 2 full, paper shopping bags and 2 pizzas underneath.
He got everything
on Jim Brewer's list. I always love that list. And the last thing's Funyuns. Yeah.
And it's quite a list. It's sour cream and onion chips and jelly and peanut butter
and
celery and pizza and bread and just
it's all sorts of stuff.
And Funyuns.
Yeah.
But he shows up at the bodega with all the stuff.
Yeah, he gets everything.
He gets everything on the list, presumably. We don't actually see it, but he has so much stuff you have to assume he did.
Of course.
So somehow that very stoned man remembered it all.
And Kenny is a school teacher. He teaches like kindergartners.
Right.
And he has a very kind heart. He sees a nice horse. He wants to feed the horse. But the horse is a diabetic. Can't handle all that stuff.
The diabetic horse.
And he gets booked for being a cop killer because it's a police horse.
So, can we just talk for a minute about how quickly justice was served?
Oh, yeah.
So he goes out at night. He is there for, let's call it a good half an hour feeding this horse because that would take a while.
Yep.
The horse dies, he is arrested, and he is tried and committed the same night, and bond is set.
He's not tried.
He is!
He's not tried, because he goes before a judge for his bail hearing.
Okay, well,
That's his bail hearing.
I'm just like, what the hell is happening that this is accelerated so quickly that he is locked up in the same night and bail is set for $1 million.
Yeah.
And but
yes, I agree.
So quickly.
It goes very quickly.
Because he's a cop killer, I have to assume is the only reason they move quickly. But it's a horse. And of course he gets locked up.
Buttercup.
And the three of them have to figure out a way to make bail.
Yeah.
And so they decide to sell the weed that they have at his work.
Yeah.
So that's the plot of the movie. And then shenanigans ensue.
It's a decent enough plot. Things like this have been said before, but I'm never gonna defend the plot. It's an excuse to
like
have stupid things happen.
Any movie, we just need a reason.
Right. Find a reason for them to do this
What
thing.
is their motivation?
Yeah, write a bunch of jokes and have a reason for them to actually have that happen.
Yes. And you're right. There are tons of people in this movie. So Harlan Williams is Kenny, the guy who gets locked up.
Yep.
So I know Harlan Williams from a few things all around this era. He shows up in Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
He is in Superstar.
Okay.
He is in Down Periscope. So 96, 93, 94.
Yeah.
And then somewhere around this movie, he made, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a space, he goes to Mars or something.
Oh, God.
The Astronaut, I don't know. It's really weird.
Is it like a serious movie?
No, it's a comedy, and the only thing I remember is that one of the astronauts, who's like the big tough guy, is pinned under something and he has to rescue him. And so he says, "Call me mom," because he needs to summon up the strength to lift the heavy thing. And the only way he'll do it is if he feels a deep connection. So if he starts calling him mother, that he'll suddenly be tricked psychologically into getting super strength.
Sounds like a great movie.
It's not. But I've seen it 20 years ago.
Oh, God.
But he's always like this weird guy, and what do you do with an actor like that? He is just this weird, tall man.
Yeah. And again, I've only ever seen, like, I don't know, like maybe one or two of his comedy specials. He's not good, but
I didn't even know he did stand up.
He's people's friend. That's his role is.
I guess. Again, we go back to, if you're friends with somebody, you get to make movies.
Right. If you know the right friends.
And only in the 90s would someone like Harlan Williams get famous.
Yeah. And of course, Scarface is Guillermo Diaz. He really hasn't done anything else outside of being Dave Chappelle's friend.
Yeah.
Like, he showed up in the Chappelle Show for a couple of sketches. That's about it.
Well, that's probably where I've seen him.
Yeah.
And that's all.
That's it. And that's why he was in those sketches, is because people recognize him for being Dave Chappelle's friend in this movie.
Right. And then, of course, they have a fourth roommate who is just guy on the couch.
Yep.
And I had to ask you because I recognized him, but I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, that was Stephen Wright. Another famous comedian for this time.
So Stephen Wright, I have never listened to his comedy, but as I understand it, he is like one of those comedians.
Yes.
Where all of the guys who do comedy
yes.
fucking love Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright, it is the driest comedian you will ever come across. He's nothing but one-liners. And he's like very low-key. He does this, he just talks down into his chest.
Gravelly kind of.
Very gravelly kind of a thing. He's got a look about him. He's got the bald front head, but like crazy hair on the sides.
Yeah.
That's been his shtick for like 30 years.
He never looks different.
Yeah. So Stephen Wright makes sense to be the guy on the couch because he never says anything.
Until near the end.
Until he has to.
And when he does, it's like through a door.
Right.
While he's peeing.
While he's peeing for a very long time.
He peed a long time. Like a long time.
Yeah.
This was like Austin Powers length peeing.
Yeah. But yeah, Stephen Wright is the guy on the couch. Should we just go through all these people who just show up?
Oh, God, yeah. And then they have, like, a sequence where they're going around dealing.
Yeah.
And they're explaining the different kinds of people who smoke weed.
Yeah, I've got all of these guys.
So, yeah, I know Jon Stewart, we mentioned.
We got the first guy, the enhancement smoker. That's Jon Stewart. He said, have you ever seen the back of a $20 bill on weed? That's another meme.
Yeah.
Where people have kind of glommed onto that.
Yeah, I didn't write the kinds of smokers, so
I
you'll have to
got them
enlighten
all.
me.
Then we had the appearance of Snoop Dogg as the scavenger smoker.
Of course, this is 1998. He was still Snoop Doggy Dogg. In the
he
credits.
hadn't graduated to just Snoop Dogg.
No, he is Snoop Doggy Dogg in this.
Where he just shows up and just steals whatever they've got and bounces.
And at the time of this recording, when this is released, he will have been in this town yesterday.
That's right.
Because Snoop Dogg's coming to town
Snoop Dogg
next
is coming
week.
to our city the day before 420.
Yes.
Come on. Come
Yes.
on.
I know somebody who's going to be working there, and she's like,
no.
I'm backstage. I'm getting a contact time.
Oh, yeah.
Very unintentionally, I assure you.
Oh, yeah. Then we come to Willie Nelson, the you should have been there smoker.
Yep.
Again, famous stoner Willie Nelson.
Another one who's never gonna hurt a fly.
Right.
He's a fucking country singer.
Right.
From the 60s.
Yeah. Again, it's just one of these guys who have just been around forever. Everybody knows that he gets high all the time. It's just he's like another Snoop Dogg. It's just kind of their personality. I
love seeing really, really old footage of, in particular, I think of two people, Willie Nelson and George Carlin. Pre-weed.
Right.
And post-weed. Because they're these, like, buttoned up, clean cut, short hair, no beard.
Right. In the 50s and 60s.
In a suit.
Yeah, with George Carlin, he wore a full-ass suit.
And so did Willie Nelson.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what was expected.
Yes, in the 50s and in the early 60s, those two were cut from the same cloth.
Before the whole counterculture thing happened in the 60s.
Then they found weed and then they grew their hair out.
Well, they found weed and they found a different audience.
Yes.
That's what happened. The young people started to find these other people and be attracted to their acts. Mm-hmm. And Willie Nelson was older, and George Carlin were older than the people coming to their shows. They were going to college towns and shit.
Yep.
Like, that's who their audience became. They were trying to impress and go to, like, the country club kind of people. The people his age and a little bit older. And he was just, like, this is a story about George Carlin. He just started looking around and saying, I don't like any of these people. These people suck. I don't want anything to do with these guys. So guess what? I'm going to grow my hair out. I'm going to stop wearing suits. I'm going to start smoking weed. And I'm going to start going to these college towns and entertaining college kids because that's who likes me.
But yeah, long story short, you can't make this movie without a Willie Nelson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You have the heavy hitters of pot representation in this movie.
Absolutely. At least of its time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You've got some more now,
it's become
but for
a lot
the 90s.
More, yeah, it's become a lot more mainstream,
mm-hmm.
Where it's just not a unique thing anymore if you just happen to smoke weed. But of the time, these were all the people who were, like, quote unquote out as pot smokers.
Right, supporting it and speaking out about it.
Moving on, we got the I'm only creative if I smoke, Janine Garofalo.
Again, so 90s.
Who, again, very popular in the 90s. She was in a few movies, but she was mainly known as being a stand-up comedian.
Yep.
In this same era.
Dark and cynical.
Yes. And I think the last named cameo person who is a thing is the MacGyver smoker. Stephen Baldwin, of all people.
I mean, in the 90s?
He wasn't, was he even popular in the 90s?
Yeah. He's in The Usual Suspects, if you recall.
He is, but I don't really see Stephen Baldwin as being a get for anything, even in the 90s.
No, I don't think he's ever been a get, but in the 90s, though, that was his time. He did Usual Suspects. He did Biodome.
Yeah.
He made movies that people saw. I'm not saying they were good. I'm not saying he's
not a
good
great
actor.
No, he's not a great actor, but people know who Stephen Baldwin is.
Especially in the 90s.
Yeah, you're right.
So if he showed up, it would be funny.
I didn't know who Stephen Baldwin was.
In the 90s?
In the 90s, I did not know.
No. You probably knew who Alec was a little.
Even that, the Baldwin brothers was not a thing for me in the 90s until I started to watch a bunch of other stuff with Alec Baldwin. I couldn't even remember what the first Alec Baldwin movie I saw.
There's 2 more.
Yes.
Have you seen them in anything?
No. Nobody has.
I've seen Billy in some stuff.
That's right, Billy.
I think I've seen Daniel Baldwin in one thing.
I couldn't have pulled out Daniel Baldwin's
name. Just remembered it. I had to think about it. I was like, what's that other one?
Yeah.
Daniel Baldwin.
Yeah. We had a couple of other cameos that aren't the category of smokers. Tracy Morgan shows up. I was
right. I said somebody from Saturday Night Live is showing up. And Tracy Morgan makes sense.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan shows up near the beginning. He's like an MTV VJ introducing the Sir Smokes a Lot music video, which would not be on MTV. They would not show Sir Smokes a Lot.
Well, they didn't really call it MTV, so I kind of assumed that was like a local thing.
It's just kind of the theme of an MTV.
Yes. He was a VJ, and this guy is a local rapper who gets weed from the local dealer.
Yeah. So he has a song about Samson, the big bad of the movie, about how he's his weed connection and blah, blah, blah. But besides Tracy Morgan, we also have an appearance by Tommy Chong.
Because of course. Again.
Because Cheech wasn't available.
We needed the heavy hitters of the pot smokers of the world.
But then again, back in the day, Cheech was on Nash Bridges. So he was
occupied.
He was very much busy trying to be a serious actor.
I did not know Cheech and Chong was a thing several years after Nash Bridges, because I knew Cheech Marin from that.
Yeah.
And I knew Tommy Chong from that 70s show.
Aha, okay.
I didn't know those two had anything to do with each other.
See, I was aware of Cheech and Chong, but I've never seen any of their movies. I don't think you have. Yeah, you haven't either. So
talk about weed smokers.
So I've never seen any of the movies, but I was aware of what they were, at least.
Okay.
So Tommy Chong showing up here makes a lot of sense.
But he's not even one of the weed guys. He's in prison as Mr. Squirrel.
No, he's Squirrel Master.
Squirrel Master. Yes. Because he carries a squirrel around with him.
Yeah, he's like Brooks in the Shawshank Redemption. He's got the little crow.
He has
in this
a
case, it's a squirrel. Yeah,
full of critters.
Yeah.
But he also does kung fu? ?
Yeah, sure. You pick up things in prison.
Like a squirrel.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that covers all the cameos here, all the extra people. But I wanted to point out just some of my favorite bits over the time I've seen this movie, because I've seen this movie a lot. It's at least 10 times.
I'm sure, because you saw this much earlier than I have. You've had time to make it up.
Yes. So I wrote a lot of notes here, just things I wanted to point out. We haven't mentioned the other character, Mary Jane. Of course, her name is Mary Jane.
So I've actually seen this actress in something else.
I'm sure you have.
The only other thing I know her from is The Craft.
Ah, okay.
Which you've never watched.
That's right. She's one of the people.
But she's one of the girls in The Craft.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen her on the poster, but that's about it.
Only thing I've seen her in.
Okay.
But again, that was pretty soon before this one. That was 96.
Right. But yes, of course, her name is Mary Jane.
Of course. And her dad was a drug dealer.
That's right.
So he named his daughter Mary Jane.
Of course. Makes sense.
Makes total sense, Trent.
But yeah, she's very straight edge. She meets Thurgood coming out of the jail meeting Kenny.
She just goes right along with this.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
She picks up a man in the prison.
Betsy, this movie is an hour and 20 minutes
and
long. We don't have time.
Him a ride back to the city.
Him and his two stoner friends.
Who are clearly messed up.
Yeah.
And she just goes with it.
Sure.
Yeah, she's wondering later why she makes stupid life choices. It's like, well.
Yeah. So they meet at the jail, and he gives her his number. He doesn't expect to call, but eventually she does call, and he invites her out on a walking date. Because
he doesn't have any money.
At the time, they used all their money to go buy bicycles so that they can go around and deliver their samples to everybody. So they go out on their date, and we have this little vignette of them on their date with the little $8 thing on the screen.
There's a counter.
There's a counter on the screen. This whole sequence is probably one of my favorite moments of the movie. It's short, but it's still funny. It starts off with him having $8. They go down the street, and they find a hot dog vendor, and she says, yeah, hot dog. And to this day, I say the word hot dog like that on occasion.
Well, and it's so arbitrary because she doesn't have an accent until she says hot dog.
Hot dog.
That's it.
Yeah.
She has no accent the rest of the movie.
Forever I have said it like that just because I've heard it in this movie. And Betsy, I mean, I've probably told you this before, but yeah, when I talk about hot dogs with Betsy, I occasionally say it like that.
I think everybody does occasionally once you've heard it.
Once you've heard it like that.
It's so charmingly strange.
But yes.
When you're not familiar with it, if you didn't grow up around people just saying that way.
Yeah. But she gets a hot dog and has
add sauerkraut,
sour relish or something,
and get a pop. She gets a soda with it.
Right. And like the ticker goes down on the money because it's expensive. It's like $3.50 or something. And she eats the hot dog. He doesn't have anything, and she suggests, "Hey, let's go to this thing downtown. You promised me ice cream. There's a really good place downtown." And he says, "Okay, let's hoof it." And then she like very heavily suggests, "Can we please take a cab?"
Because they've been walking for 3 hours.
They've been walking for miles.
Yeah.
So he finally says yes, and they get into the cab, and he argues with the cabbie on at the end of the ride. So you should be happy with the tip I gave you. And then he's like, only has pennies left.
He has a quarter.
Yeah.
He has 25 cents.
Or something like that. And they get in front of the ice cream joint, and there's a man asking for change with his little cup, and he says, "Spare change for somebody down on their luck," or whatever it is he says. And he says, "Well, don't mind if I do." And he steals enough money to buy an ice cream.
That's terrible.
It's horrible.
But this is also a man who has no morals.
No. He's lying to this woman about the fact that he doesn't smoke weed.
From the first conversation.
Yeah. So they have their ice cream, and she makes him swear on this banana split that he doesn't smoke weed. And he says, "I promise that you got pretty eyes," or something like that. And then, of course, they go and have sex.
Yeah. I got booty.
I got some booty. I got some booty.
There's some weird cuts in this movie.
Yeah.
So the second time he makes the "I got some booty" joke, it's right after he's hanging out with the rapper. Yeah. And he's talking about, "I learned all about him, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and then I got some booty." And I was like, wait, what? And I thought it was like, what? With the rapper? And then it's just a quick cut. Like, there's no transition.
Betsy, Sir Smokes-A-Lot is impotent, so...
But genuinely, the way it is edited and the way those sequences are
back
to back,
I get that.
I was very confused.
For like the 2 seconds it's on screen.
Yes,
before they reveal.
Because he is hugging Sir Smokes-A-Lot, and then he says, "And then guess what? I got some more booty."
Yep.
And I was like, wait, From whom? And then she's there. And it's like, oh, okay, but it was a weird cut.
You're right. It
was
is a
not
weird cut.
well thought out.
So back to a little bit of the plot. After Thurgood gets the weed from the lab, he brings it home, and he's never had it before, but it smells really good, and they try it out.
First of all, he gets it because some scientist asked him to get it.
Right.
And because he wants it so bad, he almost won't give him the brick, because it's a whole brick of weed.
Yeah, it's a full pound.
And he won't give it to the scientist. So the scientist rips it open and says, "Here for your trouble."
Here,
and he's just
some.
handing him handfuls of loose weed, and he's shoving it in his pocket.
Yeah.
It's just like this weird little moment where he's just like, "Here for your trouble."
Well, of course, this is a guy. These are guys who don't make a lot of money. They spend their spending money, whatever extra money they have after paying rent in New York City, between the 4 or 5 of them, or whatever it is, they spend on weed. So they don't have a lot of money. So if some guy is giving them handfuls of weed and he's not letting them
loose weed.
Yeah, loose weed. He's just going to take it. Of course you are.
I know, it's not the fact that he took it. I believe he took it. It was how it was presented. He's just sprinkling it about. Here's like a fistful and shove it in there.
Here.
It was just humorous to me.
It was good. It was funny. But yes, they bring it home and they smoke it for the first time, and it's really, really good.
Yes, and they are fucked up, and they say, well, we can't move. But then, does anyone else feel like they're flying, and they're all floating out the window?
Yep, and they go for a flight and go visit Kenny in jail.
Yep.
But not really.
Not really. No, and they just decide, based on this, that they should sell the weed.
Right. Yeah, Scarface says, hey, we should sell that stuff that we smoked the other night because it's really good. You have access to it, so it'll be full profit. We don't have to buy it.
Right. It's just sales.
Yeah, and they make 20, they say they make 20 grand in the first week, which is, hey, that's pretty good.
Especially in the 90s.
Yeah, and of course they gave out a bunch of free samples.
That's how you do it. First one's free, Trent.
The first one's free. Call the number on the card and you can get hooked up.
So yeah, it goes well for a while, and they're actually doing what they set out to do.
Yep.
But then they start encroaching on the other dealer's territory.
Yeah, they start stealing customers, especially a big customer, away from Samson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Simpson?
Samson Simpson.
Samson Simpson. Of course, because that's a name. And he is a extravagant man in a gold wheelchair surrounded by deadly women with nunchucks and crossbows.
And yeah. Because of course, why not?
Because he's a cartoon villain.
Yes.
And literally by the end of the movie, he is a cartoon villain. And they kidnap Scarface. They trick him into coming over and threatening him.
Yeah.
And, Mr. Nice Guy has to come and talk to Samson tomorrow. And he just panics and says he's a Jamaican.
Because he sounds like he was Jamaican in his head.
I guess.
Yeah. So they go and meet him and they say, okay, you took away all these customers from me, all this revenue. So I won't kill you. You have to give me half of your profits. And of course, I heard through the grapevine that you make 40 or 50 grand a week. And they just say, yeah, man, I wish.
Yeah.
And he says, I need you to pay me 20 grand a week or I'll kill you.
Yep.
So they don't know what to do. They go back home. They start panicking. And the guy on the couch gets up to have his pee, and he says, I can't help but overhear the predicament that you're in. He's kind of like the Silent Bob of this kind of a movie.
He's very eloquent when he decides to contribute.
Yes. But he says, yeah, why don't you just go into the lab and rob the place blind? Go in on Sunday. There's nobody there. So they have this harebrained scheme to go in. Scarface dresses up as a mime.
This is the most poorly thought out robbery because Thurgood is in his work uniform.
Yep.
And this is where he works, this building.
Yep.
So
he's got to know that there's security there.
He works in the building. He's in his uniform. Scarface is dressed as a weird mime. His face is painted white and black, and he's got a stocking cap and a leather jacket.
Yep.
And then Brian is just wearing tie-dye and flip-flops.
He's just there.
His Birkenstocks keep falling off. And he's not really involved.
No.
But they immediately are caught on camera by the security guys. And they say, isn't that Thurgood, that janitor?
Yep.
And they say,
one guy's,
should we call the cops?
Should we call the cops? No, this is too much fun.
And so they just let it happen.
Yeah.
Because they're enjoying watching it unfold on television and they're bored. So, of course, they don't get away with it. And about 20 SWAT guys stop them at the exits. And they say, nobody knows that they collectively are Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, they just think that they actually work for Samson.
Right. So they tell him, well, we can't get you Mr. Nice Guy, but we can get you Samson. I'll wear a wire.
Right.
And so they go in and they're trying to get him on tape saying drugs, the names of the drugs.
No slang.
Not slang. They have to get him to say cocaine or heroin or whatever.
Yeah. And before they go in, they say to the cops, well, we can't do this because we're straight sober. We need to be like our natural selves when we go in there. So they hotbox the van that they're in and go in there, leaving the cops to get all high.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they go in there, and this scene was funny. Like, I like watching three stoners trying to play word association, trying to get him to say the word cocaine. Like, the name of this game is Say the Word. Say the secret word.
The secret word is cocaine.
And they're just like, so could we have some cocaine?
Yeah.
Is that heroin?
Yeah, they keep on like trying to trick him and like getting like leaning forward, like, Of
course, here's the thing. They also get very excited and think they have done it. They never got him to say it.
No. Well, he also says, so can we just buy some cocaine and get out of here? Yes. So at that point, they think that they have him. They, I'm going to say my secret word, Abracadabra. And that's the signal for the cops to come in because they think that they got him on tape admitting to it. But in reality, no, it's not it. Not that easy.
Number one, that's not what happened. Number two, those cops are stoned out of their minds and they're not coming for backup.
Yep.
And this is the point in the movie it turns into the 1960s Batman.
Yep.
And it already did it once where, like, the transition of the doo-loo-loo-loo-loo, and there's, like, a zoom in, zoom out with a weed symbol.
Weed leaf, yep.
And then they just kind of fight the hot chicks.
Yep.
In, like, short of the, the sound effects
Whip,
showing up.
Pow!
Bam!
Blam!
Yeah.
They don't go that far.
They don't, but I almost wish they did.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna make the joke, just make the joke. Like, I would have appreciated it more if you just really went for it.
Betsy, I don't know if you know this, but this movie was made on a very low budget.
You could add some sound effect title cards. I don't know if you know this, but the 1960s Batman television show was made on a very small budget.
You're not wrong. But yes, that whole sequence is always funny because it's just stupid.
It's stupid.
Them being stupid.
But apparently they managed to do it because they cut a deal. They get Samson. Yeah. They cut a deal and they get their friend out of prison.
Well, first, Betsy, who saves the day?
Oh, Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
Because, Jerry Garcia, who died in 1995, was in a pouch that was given to Brian.
Brian bought...
he purchased it.
Brian bought Jerry Garcia in a pouch from
Andy Garcia's brother.
From Andy Garcia's brother.
But it's not really
Nope.
Jerry Garcia. But he appears and he beats Samson with a guitar.
Yep. So yeah.
That's how
Jerry Garcia saves the day.
They win.
Peace.
That's how he... Yep.
Yep.
That is what happens. That's the thing. It's just like, are we going full stupid or are we going like cartoon? Are we going for reality? Like there's such a weird mix of all of it that it's like if you had just gone full cartoonish over the top, every second of this movie, including like why he got arrested and everything, like it's almost there, but it's not quite there.
Yeah.
So it's off-putting. It doesn't make any sense. And I think that's why people, like the critics, didn't like it. It is sort of incoherent.
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
But it's not supposed to be a coherent story.
No.
No one cares about it. It's not that kind of a movie.
I know that. I just wish they had done more. Like, if you're gonna make this stupid movie, make it really stupid. Like, embrace it. Go.
Yeah.
Be free, little weed smokers. Yeah, the only other things I have written down are just little moments. So, like, the movie opens with the story of the first time these 4 guys smoked weed.
Yeah.
And they're, like, 11 years old. Mm-hmm. And, of course, they're telling the story, and it's on memory lane.
Yep.
So, that's okay. That's funny.
Going down memory lane.
Very literal. And then when they're stoned out of their little minds, they go to a convenience store and all of the food is jumbo sized to them. The sight of him eating a giant candy bar was funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of candy bar that was because I don't think I've ever had one.
It's an Abba-Zaba, which I don't think they have around here.
I was going to say, what the hell's an Abba-Zaba?
I've maybe seen it on the road somewhere, and I almost
Or do they
bought one.
even make it anymore?
It's real. I've seen it.
I've seen it. I know it's real, but do they make it anymore?
I don't know. I haven't been traveling all that much.
Fair.
I know they don't have them around here, but I've seen them traveling.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah.
I also like how they do that thing that I've talked about before where lowbrow people use highbrow terminology. So he's a janitor, but he says he's a master of the custodial arts.
Or a janitor if you want to be a dick about it.
Right. They name their bongs, and their prize bong is called Billy Bong Thornton.
Yep.
And then they also had a small one called Wesley Pipes. Mm-hmm. So that's a thing.
Yep.
During the final fight scene, you know, Brian throws... Is it Brian? Someone throws a piranha. Who throws a piranha?
I don't know.
I don't remember which one it was.
It's just one of those things that an evil lair person would have a fish tank full of piranhas.
I guess.
He grabs one and throws it at a woman, and she screams, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like weird little moments where it's like, okay, that's sort of funny or clever. I don't know.
Yeah. It's all of the above and none of the above. I only have one more thing before we get out of here. It is the moment that Scarface quits his job, where he's at the burger joint and Neil's there saying, "Still waiting on that heifer, Julio." And he grabs the mic and he goes around, and this is the best way to quit a job ever. He goes, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool, and fuck you, I'm out." One of the best, I have probably, like when I was a kid and like working a shit job, I watched that scene so many times, just over and over again, because I thought it was just the funniest thing.
You thought, if I ever get sick of this place, that's how I'm going out.
That's how everybody wants to go out. Especially a shit job like that.
Oh, I just remembered another moment in the movie. There's a whole Jerry Maguire thing.
That's right.
Because this movie came out a couple years after Jerry Maguire, so...
Hey, remember how Jerry Maguire was a really big movie?
It really was. And Brian is fired from his job, but on the way out the door, he's like, "I'm not going to do the thing.
Yep.
And I'm going to leave. Who wants to come with me?"
Who's coming with me?
And the girl who works with him says, "I will." So, of course, this is what happens in Jerry Maguire.
Right. And, of course...
And it's almost like, I don't think it's verbatim, but it's pretty darn close.
It's in the vein.
Close.
And, of course, at the very end, he says, "Jan, you want to be my girlfriend?" She says, "No, I would, but I'm gay." And, of course, this is still 1998. We're not really talking about gay people all that much.
No.
And they don't bring it up again.
No. She goes to work for them.
Yeah. And he asks, "What's that like?"
Because he's a stupid stoner boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there was more to his character. So, like, Scarface, you know, he doesn't have a lot going on, but he's at least dynamic. He's a character.
Yeah.
And, like, he has that scene where you were just describing. He gets a moment where you're, like, rooting for him.
Yeah.
And Dave Chappelle has, you know... he wants to be better for this girl, and he tries to do better, and
Kenny is a good guy.
And Kenny's a good guy.
He does a good thing. He helps the children. He's a really nice guy.
But yeah, Brian is just a stoner.
Yep.
Full stop.
Yep.
There is no depth to him whatsoever. He says nothing profound. He does nothing redeeming.
No.
He's the stupid bumbling guy who like throws himself off the roof.
Oh God, this movie. I'm really glad that we watched this. Again, I knew you weren't going to be like all the way into it, but at the very least you can appreciate why I like it.
I have seen it now, and isn't that enough?
It is. It is. But yeah, it's very much of its time. I still enjoy it. It's still funny. It's not like laugh out loud funny all the time like it was back in 98 and shortly after, but it does pretty much stand the test of time.
This one strikes me as if you were to talk about this movie with your friends, if this movie was something you quoted to each other, that it would increase the humor.
Yes.
I've seen movies like that before where I didn't really think it was that funny, but then I would start referencing them and the jokes suddenly became funnier because they were in jokes with your friends.
It's what became of Anchorman.
Exactly.
Because Anchorman is infinitely quotable, but as it itself, it's not that great.
It's like funny-ish.
Yeah.
But it becomes really funny after the fact.
Yeah.
Like, it's not funny while you watch it the first time.
You're pulling out quotes, you're pulling out little things to apply to everyday life, and yeah, it's just funny. Which is what happened with this one, but to a much lesser extent. Like, boo this man, and a few of the other things.
Boo this man is such a universal phrase that I'm going to choose to adopt.
Oh, shit. So, all right, that's where I'm going to end this one. Do you have any other things, Betsy?
No, I don't expect that I'm going to spend a lot of time watching this, but I do expect that now that we've watched it together, that I'm going to come home and you're going to have it on the TV.
No.
I think it's going to happen where you'll decide to put this on now that I've seen it.
Betsy, I haven't watched this movie, like, especially all the way through.
But I hadn't seen it.
For years.
I hadn't seen it, and you did that by choice because you wanted me to watch it eventually.
Maybe.
So now that I've seen it.
If I did, it wasn't conscious, but anyway.
I'm just saying.
All right, fair enough.
I know you, sir.
All right, so that's going to be the end of this one. But we're going to read an email from Stephanie about Ralph Breaks the Internet. That was the last Disney sequel of that series that we did. So from Stephanie, this one is so fun, so much better than Cars 2. The princess scenes are amazing, and overall it's just a cute movie. I agree that there isn't a lot to the plot, but I still like it. My daughter likes it too, but it's not in our main rotation as much as the first one. Yeah, I feel like this one is a good complement to the first movie, to Wreck-It Ralph, but it doesn't have the same kind of charm. It's still a good movie. It's just a different kind of a movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The message of friends moving on or growing up is a pretty good one, but it's definitely over my kid's head. So far, anyway. Once again, it just makes me miss you guys. Thank you. I would absolutely love to watch more Ralph and Vanellope.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Give me a third one.
They really need to make a third Wreck-It Ralph movie, just because those two characters work really well. I don't know how else they do it. I mean, I guess we covered it in the episode. What my suggestion is the arcade shuts down and all of their machines get sold to a much bigger arcade that has newer stuff.
Yeah, you just change the plot. That's all. You just need a reason.
You change the setting and you introduce new characters that way.
Yep.
That's the only thing I can think of. Back to the email. We currently have one pinball machine and 2 arcade machines. Once we have a bigger house, I feel like our game room will probably expand. Love you guys and your podcast, from Superfan Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. We do not have a game room in this house.
Yet,
yeah.
This room is as close as it gets, but they're your games. It's not a game room.
No, this is like we have the game consoles and all the video stuff hooked up to this TV that we watch the movies on. So this is where all of that stuff happens. But from my understanding, actually owning arcade machines and pinball machines is a lot of work.
You have to be technically minded, and luckily she has someone in the house who is.
Right, and it's more over that, maintenance on them takes a lot of time and effort and money. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to buy parts for them.
You can't just go to the corner store and get the parts.
No, and like they're very, very finicky, especially like the 80s cabinets are very finicky.
Moving them jostles everything about.
And like the main parts, like the CRT, the actual screens, are very specialized kinds of screens. And you can't get them anymore. They don't exist. Nobody makes them.
Nope.
So you basically have to recycle the old screens out of other cabinets and try to repurpose them that way.
Or make it yourself, if you're really smart.
I don't know if you could create a CRT from nothing.
Somebody could.
That's the thing. Nobody manufactures this stuff anymore. It just doesn't happen. Like,
there is still a place in New York City that fixes old, like, tube TVs and shit like that.
They fix them, but they don't manufacture new ones.
But I'm saying, if you've got the know-how, there is a niche market for you.
It's very niche. But if I were to actually get a cabinet of my own, it would be what is called a MAME cabinet, which is just a fancy word for it's an emulator cabinet, which means that you can play a whole lot of different arcade games in one box.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, again, I never really went to the arcade when I was a kid and actually played games. I did on occasion, but it was at the local mall. It was at the Aladdin's Castle.
Remember those?
Uh-huh. We had one where I was growing up. I didn't grow up in this town.
We had one when I was growing up.
And there was one here as well. But yeah, when I was a kid, I went with my cousins on occasion. I went with my friends on occasion, but it was never a place that we went to often because it cost money. And I didn't really get a huge allowance. The allowance that I got that I used on games, I used to go and rent games from the local rental store.
It's the same thing. Like, you give them your money and you get nothing out of it,
right?
Other than the pleasure of the time you spent.
I was a stupid poor kid who never bought any games. I just rented them. Yeah. Yeah, I was a stupid kid. I should have bought them and held on to them and then sold them for millions of dollars.
They'd be worth so much now.
Uh-huh.
If you kept them in good condition.
It's true. But I always keep my stuff in good condition.
You do. You're one of those kids.
I've always been like that. All my toys were in pristine condition. I didn't let my little cousins or anybody play with them because...
You were born a little old man.
I was.
That is not a toy. That is a figure.
That's right. I never really had a lot of action figures. Like the traditional kind of action figures. I had the 4 sets of the Ninja Turtles. I had the set of the Power Rangers, like the original Power Rangers that like their head flipped up to transform them.
Nice.
And I had like the Lego sets, and that was my toys. I didn't have much.
But we digress.
Anyway, that's the end of the show. If you would like to reminisce about the 90s, please email us at neverseenitpod@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Twitter, neverseenit_pod. If you wish, you can support the show by clicking the link in the podcast description to throw us a buck. If you can't do that, no big deal. Just share us with your friends. Tell the people how funny we are, how good we are, even though we don't actually smoke weed.
Do not scream boo this man at my husband.
Please don't. It'll make my feelings hurt. But yes, that is the end of the show. I want to thank you for listening. We will be back with another episode of Never Seen It next time. I have been Trent.
I have been Betsy.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.